How are you all doing? We are ready. Very good. Yes, 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 yes. We are ready. Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the live. If this is your first time joining, you already know this is Coach Shafi. What I do is I help people to stop sabotaging on themselves at the nervous system level. Expedite, I saw your message. In order to build an identity and stay consistent, the way I do things on my live at this side of social media is I lead you to your identity blueprint, okay? Your identity blueprint where it separates you from the crowd. I know most of you have heard the word or you've read in the Bible or you've heard someone says that you're made in the image or the likeness of God. And because this has been said, many people don't understand what it means. They have read it, they have seen it, they have seen the word and all those things, but they cannot, identify themselves in that word. Now, this is what I do. And I know you've also asked, Coach, how can we have a replay, right? So the replay is on, you can get the replay on YTV, you can get the replay on YouTube. But because I am doing the live both side today, I'm not gonna be, of course, I will interact and all those things, but I wanted the image and the language to be clear as well on YouTube. So help me if you're here and you've been on my live many times, help me interact with the people that are joining, welcoming them like you already do, by the way, right? Welcoming them and, tell them what they need to do, tap the screen and all those things, okay? So that when it's posted on YouTube, people will be able to follow as well. Okay, welcome to you all. Welcome to you all. As you can see as you can see on the board, it says your triggers are keeping you stuck. Your triggers are keeping you stuck. If this is your first time joining, let me know what part of the world you're joining in from. If this is your first time joining, let me know what part of the world you're joining in from. Okay, so let's go. Okay, very good. So now, the people that I work with, okay, I'm going to put them here. The people that I work with, this is some of the characteristics that they have. If you're someone, you start, okay, you keep starting over. You have the same goal for more than 3 years, the same season, different year, you're carrying the same goal over and over again. And you start very strong and you disengage, okay? If this sounds like you keep starting over every season, you keep starting over every week, you keep starting over different year is the same goal. You tell yourself you move when you feel ready. You've been waiting for years, but it feels like even in your movement, as you're moving, you still feel stuck mentally, emotionally. Okay? The relationship that you desire, the relationship that you want, the finances you deserve, you got stuck in some way, in some shape or form. You feel like you don't have what it takes to move forward. You feel lazy, but you know that you're not lazy, right? You show up brilliantly for everyone else, but for yourself, you shrink back every single time. When people need you, you're there for them. But when it comes to your own goal, when it comes to the things that you have to do, you shrink. If any of these things sound like you're definitely at the right place. And I welcome you to the live. I welcome you if you're watching this on a replay. I welcome you. For those who are watching this on TikTok, you want to watch the replay because a lot of things are going to be shared today. If you want to watch this on a replay, put in on, the big app, put on the reset with Coach Sheffy. Okay, reset with Coach Sheffy, and then you'll be able to watch the replay. I feel like I did not put in the community. Is it in? Okay, can change during live. Okay, it's already been set. Okay. Okay, so very good. So as I was saying, and let me go over that again. Okay, let me go over that again. Welcome to those who are watching the replay, those who are catching this on live, welcome everybody. Now, the people that I work with, let me say this. You are not lazy, you are looping, okay? You are not lazy, you are looping. You keep starting over the same goal, the same season, different year, right? You tell yourself you will move when you feel ready. You've been waiting for years, but it feels like the same thing is happening. The relationship that you want, the finances you deserve, you get stuck and you never attract any of these things. You show up brilliantly for everyone else, but for yourself, you shrink back every single time. You've lost your voice. You know you're capable of doing things. You've lost your voice, your confidence, your presence, your ability to take up space. Okay? Some of you right now, part of you is still living in a chapter that already closed. So this is where I tell people, most of you right now, you're living in a chapter that already closed. Maybe you're living in, so we are right now, this is the present, right? And when I talk about the present, I'm talking about the year that we are living in. And what is this year? The year 2026. Okay. But most people right now are either living in the past, okay, or in the future. Okay. Either you're living in the past or in the future. Now, the past for you might be 2020, any year before 2026. And the future is any year after 2026. So most people generally they live in the past or in the present. I mean, in the past or in the future. Okay, and they ghost on the present year. So anytime you're getting into a new year, guess what you're doing? You are recycling and repeating the same year that you didn't live. So you're constantly catching up on past years. That's why most of you right now, maybe you're in 2020 or in 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25, but 2026. So that's why now when you get into 2027, you will repeat 2026. So most of you, what I'm going to share with you is definitely going to help you so that you can break out of the identity loop. The reason why you're repeating the same pattern is because you're stuck in identity loop. Okay, it's because you're stuck in identity loop. So being stuck in that identity loop, you will keep repeating the same pattern over and over and over again. Okay, so if this sound like you, if whatever I'm saying sound like something like that you can if this sound like something that has happened to you, if you feel like, okay, for all these years I've been repeating and recycling my years, put one in the chat. And by the way, on my live, in my sessions, we do not shame, right? What I'm teaching you is to identify. You identify the pattern. Good job. Thank you. I see the ones are coming in. Thank you so much. I see the ones are coming in. Very good. One in the chat. If you keep starting over, okay, everything that I'm saying, if it sounds like you, just put one in the chat, even if you're watching this on a replay. Very good. You keep starting over. The same goal, same season, different year. You keep starting over. You've seen yourself that you are living a deja vu, okay? You tell yourself you will move when things are ready. But anytime you said you move when things are ready, you are stuck. Part of you is still living in a chapter that is already closed, where I was talking about the past, okay? Now, you wake up with a plan. You have a plan. You wake up with a plan, but by noon, you've already talked yourself out of it, right? You have a plan. By noon, you already talked yourself out of it. If any of this is sounding like you, keep putting one in the chat, okay? You wake up with a plan, but by noon, you already talk yourself out of it. You know what to do. You just can't make yourself do it. You know what to do, but you just can't make yourself to do it. And that kills you every single time. And when that is happening, you're asking yourself this question: what is wrong with me? Okay. The regret is heavy. The shame spiral is real. The fear of falling again keeps you frozen. Yeah, I see the ones are still coming in. You're capable of so much more, but you can't hold momentum long enough to prove it. Okay. Now, that's what I was saying. Right now, a lot of you're living in an identity loop, okay? An identity loop. An identity loop. So even before I continue with the identity loop, let me give you an example, because I'm going to talk about a few things that I feel like I need to break it down. I'm going to talk about nervous system, right? Nervous system regulation, and I'll take you deeper. But before we talk about the nervous system regulation, let's talk about what is nervous system. Okay, what is nervous system? I understand that sometimes we assume that people know, but it's good to break it down so that everybody can be on the same page as just to understand the words that I've been that we're saying. I don't want to assume that you understand, because the way I teach is different from how everybody teaches, right? Now, what is the nervous system? The nervous system is like a remote control. It's a primary command or a control system and a communication network. Okay, nervous system, I'm going to abbreviate and say NS. Okay, it's like a command system, a control, command system that keeps it's so command. The first thing is a command or a control, a communication network system. It manages everything from voluntary movements. So what I'm doing right now, I'm doing it intentionally. So the nervous system is helping me to do this movement. So the nervous system is the body's primary command, control, and communication network, managing everything from voluntary movement, okay, and sensory perception to involuntary movement functions like breathing and heartbeat. The nervous system, thank you so much. The nervous system is helping you to do all these things, right? Now that we know what the nervous system is, which is the command, the control, or the communication network system, it helps you to do movements, if we can put it as simple as that. That's what the nervous system is. Now, most of us, we are moving, a lot of people are moving with a dysregulated nervous system. How does this nervous system get dysregulated? By the things that we've gone through in the past, by the things that we are seeing every single time, the things that we are hearing every single time, the thoughts that we are carrying. All those things, they either help us to continuously regulate or be regulated, or to be dysregulated. Okay, so let's put it this way. What you hear, you see, you feel, you touch, you smell, okay? Hear, see, taste. Okay, so you already know where this is going, right? It's gonna talk about the five senses. On the physical five senses, what the meaning, okay, what is the meaning of trigger? I'm gonna give you that that meaning very soon, but let's stick on this one, okay? And then I'll get to the trigger, because this is gonna help us get to the trigger aspect, okay? Or to put it short, someone is asking on TikTok, what is the meaning of trigger? It's an event that leads to a reaction. An event that leads to a reaction. Yeah. If you're watching this on a replay, someone wants to know what is a trigger, because people watches from different part of the world, so they want to understand. A trigger in this specific moment is an event that leads to a reaction. Okay. Now, and that question that you asked, the reason I said we should wait is because what I'm saying here will help you to understand. Because the title of today's teaching is what? Your triggers keep you stuck. Your triggers are keeping you stuck. And my goal on today's teaching, on today's live, is to what? To help you identify some of the triggers. That's why we're taking it from here. Now, based on the definition of nervous system, it's a control, a command, a communication network, managing everything that you do voluntarily or involuntarily, right? From breathing, you can control it, but you can regulate your breathing. Breathing, heartbeat, those are the involuntary movements, okay? The voluntary one is when I'm moving my body. And when I'm sitting, when I'm eating, all those things, that they are the ones that are voluntarily done. Now, the way we regulate is by the way we get regulated or dysregulated is this: through what we hear, what we see, what we feel, what we touch, what we smell, what we taste. Okay. Now, our brain has a record of us. Our brain has a record of us. So anything that we go through life is stored up at the subconscious level. Everything that we've gone through life is stored up at the subconscious level. That's why sometimes you may just have a smell and automatically it can awaken part of you or something that has happened in the past. Okay, just a smell. Or even you see somebody wearing a red and the brain will connect it to an event that already happened in the past. You see how powerful it is. Okay, or you see something even before your brain make an image of what you're seeing, the brain can suggest an image of it. That's why some people, when they're reading, they read other word than the word that is in, because the brain already has an idea of what the word's supposed to be. You know, I'm a mom of 3 amazing children, and most of my children, they started reading by themselves, you know. But at this current age, sometimes when we're reading, they go ahead of themselves, right? They can see, let's say, for instance, the word can say true, okay? True, right? But when they're reading, they might say dull. So the word that is dominant in you, the word that you repeat frequently, that's the one that the brain will suggest. Please follow me here, okay? The word that you use frequently, that's the word that the brain will suggest to you. So the things that you use frequently, those are the things that the brain will suggest to you. And what does this mean? Our brain doesn't follow because we desire. The brain does not follow things because of our desire. No. The brain follows because of familiarity. Okay, the brain follows because of familiarity. Thank you so much for all these beautiful gifts that you're sending in. I love them so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so the brain follows because of familiarity, not because of desire. And based on the example that I'm giving you, which is what? For instance, when you're reading, your brain will automatically suggest you trigger me to angry. Is it true? Sentence means okay. You trigger me to anger. Okay, let's hold on to that. That's a good example. That's a very good example. So the brain will lead you to, or the brain will give you an image even before you consciously make a whole idea of what you're seeing in that moment. You see that? So what you hear, what you see, what you feel, what you touch, what you smell, what you taste, either will help you to regulate or be dysregulated. Now, this is in the present moment, what is happening right now. But what you're forgetting is what you hear came from what you heard. What you hear came from what you heard. What you see came from what you saw. What you feel came from what you felt. What you touch came from what you touched. What you smell came from what you smelled. What you taste came from what you tasted. Do you see where we're going with this? So even though, yes. So this is the question. Someone is asking, oh, Stephen, hey, Stephen, how are you? Stephen is asking, can we learn to break away from toxic things that are familiar? Of course. And this is what neuroscience says, right? Anything that you've learned, anything you learn, you can unlearn, relearn, and all those things. Yes, definitely you can learn. And that's the question. You said, can we learn to break? Yes, you can learn. Before neuroscience or neuroplasticity, people thought that, once you learn it, you cannot unlearn it. But now we know that with neuroplasticity, it's called plasticity for a reason, like plastic, right? Whatever has shaped you, once you are aware that it's not serving you, the first key to self-improvement is what? Is self-awareness. There are some people that will say, oh, that's how I am. But when you tell yourself that's how you are, then you're not giving any chance to you to change. Okay? Let me give you an example of my mom. My mom, I'm so proud of her, because of the way she was brought up. and her being a single mom raising me, there are some characteristics that she needed to put on. But recently, I've been living with my mom, and I saw great improvement in her. Great improvement, great improvement, great improvement. Where I'm like, sometimes I do things, and I know if it was back then, the way she would react, it's not the same as the way. So you can see wisdom, right? Yes. So to answer your question, can we learn to break away from toxic things that are familiar? Yes. And it's called learning. Okay. It's called learning. So the learning aspect of things, so you need to be, and when you're learning, what are you doing? You have to be patient with yourself. This is where most people, they lose it. People are not patient to go through the process. Let's say you're someone who is, who usually, like the topic that I talk about often is what? Who self-sabotage, right? Who procrastinate. So you've been doing it, unfortunately, you've done this for maybe like 20 years. So don't expect you to change in one day. That's abuse. That's self-abuse. That's self-abuse. If you've done something consistently for many years, and here you are, you have identified on the journey that this didn't help me, and now out of nowhere, in 1 week, you're expecting to change, and then you're hard on yourself when you don't see that change, that's self-abuse. Unfortunately, a lot of people are abusing themselves. So what do I tell you while you're on this journey and you're being aware? Because I know when you come on my live, you watch my videos, you're really aware, right? Because I highlight those things. Why are those things highlighted? The things I highlighted because you are now in the light. Okay, you are now in the light. So when you're in light, let's say there is darkness in a room. Okay, your room is all messy. You've been sleeping in the dark for like 5 days, and now the light came back on. When you turn on the light, you now start seeing your sock that you throw somewhere. Okay, you now start seeing where you put your plates in your room because the light is on. So if you're even if you start noticing those negative things about you, you know what you need to do? You need to be grateful. Because you've gained wisdom that is highlighting that this character is not going to help you. Okay, when you're getting closer or when you're living in your identity blueprint, it's the best place to be, because now some of the characters that you used to embrace, they're going to be highlighted. It's because you are in the light now. One of the things that God told me about me was what? You are self-absorbent. Is that a word? Like, just thinking about you, I was like, oh, okay. Now you know. What do you have to do now? Okay, so that's a good question. Can we unlearn? Yes, I'm gonna dive in deeper on your question, but that's definitely, you can unlearn the negative things that you've learned that did not help you. Now that you are working on you, you can unlearn them and have the right tool. That's why I come on live every single time, right? I come on live to help you identify the pattern. The first thing is to identify the pattern. Okay, when you identify the pattern, also to know your identity. Okay, you know your identity, and I'll give you the tools that you need to break out of those patterns that kept you stuck for many, many years. And this is even the reason why in the month of June 27, I'm starting a group coaching session. Okay, I'm going to talk more about that, but let's go back. Now, we're talking about your triggers are keeping you stuck. And someone else asked this question. Is it okay to say that your triggers make me angry? Yes, that's why it's called trigger. A trigger is an event that leads you to a reaction. Your trigger, or a trigger, is an event that leads you to reaction. Okay? So whether that reaction, now, this is the beautiful thing about it. A trigger is not a trigger yet until somebody reacted a negative way. Okay? A trigger, put that in the chat. A trigger is not a trigger yet until that person reacts a negative way. Okay? And I'm going to give you another example. In my country, okay, in my culture, where I am from, when you step on someone, it's an insult. When you step on someone in my culture, it's an insult. Okay? Because the thing that we step on is what? Is the ground, is the earth. and the earth is below us. So when you step on, when you're walking on the earth, and all that. So when you step on someone, their understanding, their perception of it is what? Automatically, the brain has projected in their mind what it is. It's like you are compared to nothing, to the ground, to the earth. Okay? Yeah, a trigger is not a trigger yet until we have a negative reaction. Thank you. So that's what it is. So in my culture, when you step on someone, you might just be walking. It's not that you've done it intentionally, okay? You might just be walking and you step on the person. No. Okay? They will insult you and they will tell you it's your anyway. But so because the brain has projected what you need to step on, which is the ground. So their understanding, their perception right there is what? You are comparing me to the earth. Why can I be compared to the earth? Now, if we go to another culture, and this is just an example, if we go to another culture where in that culture, when you step on someone, that means it's a blessing, do you think it's going to be a trigger? No. So it's the reaction from the person that's what determines if it's a trigger. Okay, I don't know. There was some years back. It was President Bush in one of the countries. So when he was talking, somebody threw a shoe at him. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then I'm like, wait, what does that mean? You see that? What does that mean? But when you research, when you go online, it's an insult. So it depends on culture, your understanding. That's why I said this. What you hear came from what you heard. So what you're hearing in this present moment, your reaction from that came from the past. Your reaction from that came from the past. So most of you right now, you are stuck here, okay? Most of you, you're stuck in this place, okay? Because of the things you've heard, the things you've seen, the things you've felt, what you've touched, you've smelled, you've tasted, because it came from the past and it has not been regulated yet. It's controlling your present moment. Okay? And let me show you how far that is even, affecting you. Let's say you just got a job and you are the new person at the workplace. Now, anytime you go into your workplace, you're thinking people are comploting against you. When you see people in the break room, they're talking, they're happy, here is your mind telling you, oh, they are gossiping about you. And the reason why you feel this way is because maybe growing up, you were the center of attention. What do I mean by the center of attention? You are the one, whenever they hold meetings, right? You are the one they talk about. So that is stuck in the nervous system. Okay? That's why at the beginning, I want to ask to give the example or the meaning of what a nervous system is. A nervous system is the body's primary command system, a control. Just think of it like a remote control. When you're watching TV, whatever you press, that's the channel that will come, or that's the suggestion that the TV will give you. Okay, so the nervous system is the command that the control system, the command system, the communication network, managing everything that you do. Your breathing, your responses, your movement is because of the nervous system. I'm gonna take you somewhere today that I don't think you've been before, so I want you to really take notes. Okay, especially if you're someone who is easily triggered by the things that surround you, your five senses. Okay, now the physical five senses, there is a spiritual five senses. Okay, the physical five senses, there is a spiritual five senses. That's why I want to take you to in this moment. Okay, now let's continue diving in. For those who are watching this on a replay, welcome. And don't forget to subscribe and all those things that you need to do so that when I go on live, you'll be able to get the notification. Is that JJ? JJ, am I seeing you in here? Welcome, my dear friend. It's been a while. It's been a while. So happy to see you. Okay, now we're talking about the nervous system. Most of us, we know about the nervous system, okay? But what we are forgetting about God's system. We know about nervous system because it's been talking about most of the time. But what we don't talk about is God's system. right? It's been a while, I know. God's system. So that's what I want to talk with you today. While we're gonna visit all these little things that that is keeping you stuck. Okay. So now your triggers are keeping you stuck. And the reason why you're stuck is because the trigger was built from the past. The past built the triggers, which comes from your culture, the way you were raised, your belief system, your moment of failure, your moment of not showing up the way you're supposed to show up, the way you want to show up. So all these things, they are affecting you. That is why right now, even though you are in the present, physically, we can see you physically in the present, but mentally, emotionally, you are either stuck in the past or in the illusion. Your past holds the record. Put it in the chat for me, please. Say, my past holds the record. My past holds the record. Put that in the chat. Say, my past holds the record. Okay? It's very important. Say, my past holds the record. Okay? Say, my past holds the record. Very good. Let's keep sending them in. And Naima, if my past holds the record, very good. Your past holds the record. Your future is what? It's an illusion. What is real is the present. Okay, very good. My past holds the record. And what is this record that your past is holding? Every moment that you said you're going to show up, that you don't show up, your past is holding that, is holding it for you. Because guess what? It's like you open the fountain, or you open the water. Okay, I was gonna say robinet in French. You open the water pump, right? When you open the water pump, you put a bottle underneath. It's filling it up. When the water is running, it's filling it up, and that's what it is. Our brain keeps holding every record, every single time. So these are the things that may come to stand against you, or they're gonna help you to get to the place that you want to get to. So right now, you might be asking yourself, I show up strong for day one, but day two, I'm already disengaged. And you're asking yourself, why is it this, right? Why do I keep doing this every single time I show up, but I disengage? You're asking yourself, okay, or you keep starting over the same goal, one season, the same goal, different years, you are repeating this. And you end up telling yourself, it's because I'm lazy. No, you're not. You're just looping your old identity. You're looping the identity that your body has formed. You're looping the identity that your life experience has given you. So you are living from that part of you every single time. That's why I want to give you the chance to work with me in the group coaching session, in the month of June. For those who sign up today, you'll be able to get a discount that comes for the early people that sign up earlier. Okay, now let's go back to this. And I was saying here, what you hear, what you see, what you feel, what you touch, what you smell, what you taste, they are all part of who you are becoming, or who you are and who you're gonna become. That is why if you don't fix this, okay, if you don't work on this thing, it's going to determine your future. That's why if you step in 2028, your 2028 might look exactly like 2026 or any year before 2026. Okay, now the question was asked, can we learn to get out of those things? Yes, we can. But how do you learn? The part where you put your brain. So what you feed your brain with is what the brain is going to spit back to you. Remember, the brain doesn't bring to us what we desire. A desire is just a desire. But what the brain brings back to us is what? What is familiar. Your nervous system does the same thing. So it's not because, even if the result that you're getting right now is not what you want, the nervous system, the brain will only bring back to you what is familiar, not what you desire. You might desire to be a billionaire. It's just a desire. The nervous system has not caught up to that yet. What the nervous system knows, what your subconscious is holding, what is embedded in the subconscious is what? This person, they have a poverty mentality, right? Even if they have $100, they spend it on anything else. So what you're doing right now is determining who you're going to become. Now let's go back here. And I was talking about how most people, most of us, we know about God's system, we know about nervous system, but we do not know about the God system. Our nervous system is created by who? By God. So here we are, we want to regulate, which is great, right? We want to regulate. We are regulating based on the present. But the part that you're forgetting is, what about what has happened in the past, even before you were born, the things that you do not know yet? How are you trying to regulate those ones? How are you trying to navigate through life knowing that something has happened to you, but you're so determined to break out of whatever it is so that you can be focused and consistent on your goals? Most of you right now, the reason why you're not showing up is because a part of you is carrying a weight that you try to put down so much, but it feels like every time you want to put that weight down, once you go down to drop the weight, you just get stuck there. If this sound like you, put 2 in the chat. If this sound like you, that you know you have identified the weight, you identify that weight that keeps you, that is sabotaging you. But whenever you go to drop the weight, as soon as you go down to drop the weight, instead of dropping completely, this is the difference. Instead of dropping completely for you to go on your knees and say like, God, I need you. But when you go down to drop the weight, you get stuck over there. And then the brain takes you back to the past. I saw a 2. Okay, I see the 2s are coming in. Very good. My goal today is what? I'm going to teach you something that is going to help you. Okay, because I know you've tried the nervous system regulation and it feels like it's not moving as fast as you want it to. It works. Nervous system regulation works, by the way. Let me tell you. And maybe your understanding, your definition can also work against you. I like to make things simple because that's how it is supposed to be, right? What is nervous system regulation? Is intentionally putting a stop in your daily activity in order to connect to your body. Can I say that again? Intentionally putting a stop in your daily activity in order to connect with your body. And how can you do that? You can do that through these 5 things that I just said. What you hear, through your hearing, through your sight, through your feeling, okay? Through your touch, through your smell, through your taste. That's as simple as that, okay? What you see. Right now, if you're constantly watching, a show, right? And that show, anytime you watch it, it puts anxiety, it makes you anxious. Let's see the full of you this year. It makes you anxious. All that is going to keep you dysregulated or regulated. You see that? So through your sight, what you see, what you feel, what you hear, what you touch, what you smell, all those things, they are creating you to be either break out of the loop or to get stuck in the loop. Either all those things, they are intentionally helping you, or it's keeping you stuck in the loop, or to break out of the loop. So what you feed yourself with 24/7 is what is giving power to the loop to continuously strengthen itself. Okay? For those who have been on my live, I tell you this all the time. You are made in the image and the likeness of God. I did not make it up. It's in the word. And that's where I usually function from. Okay? And that's the truth. Within the image and the likeness of God, there is your blueprint. Within the image and the likeness of God, there is your blueprint. The reason why it feels like, even though the word, the Bible, God says that you're made in my image and my likeness in Genesis 1:26, the reason why it doesn't stick with you is because you have not identified your blueprint in that which is general. So even though God loves us the same way, can we be honest? There are some people that are dear to him because those people have found their blueprint in him. I'm not talking about pastors, okay? I'm not just talking about pastors. So there is the general where, okay, I am made in the image and the likeness of God. Okay, now that you know that, what is your blueprint in that which is general? Within the general, there is specificity. Within the general, there is uniqueness. That is why we might have, we have the Beyoncés, we have the Rihannas, we have the Brandys, we have all, Bob Marley, we have all these people. But there are still talented people coming every single day. Because within the general, there is what? Specific. There's uniqueness. The way I speak is different from the way you speak. So if you're here right now, you're like, okay, I know I want to launch this product. I know because I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. I work with a lot of business owners, students and all those things. So here you are. God has given you a dream, but you start comparing your dream to someone else. And you're like, it's exactly like what they're doing. So what is different from mine? It shows me and it tells me that because you have not sat with yourself yet to identify what separates you from the other person. And the goal is not even what separates you from the other person. The goal is to find your identity blueprint. Okay? The goal is to find your blueprint, your identity blueprint, that which is your thing that when you do it, only you can do it a specific way. So right now, if you're just identifying yourself with the general, you're going to move in a general way. What is the general? Being made in the image and the likeness of God. Everybody is. Now, within that, when God was creating you specifically, what was the conversation he was having with you? Right? By knowing these things, by pondering on these things, this is one of the quickest way that you can start regulating your nervous system. This is one of the fastest way that you can start regulating your nervous system. Okay? This is one of the best way. Let me see. This is one of the fastest way that you can regulate. Okay? So there is the image and the likeness of God that when we open the Bible, we all read. And David did this, by the way. By the way, this is not a Bible study, but when I teach naturally, my background is Christianity. And these are the things that helped me to break out of the loop that I was stuck in. 2009, even before 2009, I was repeating a loop. But as you can tell by my accent, I'm not American, right? So I'm immigrant. And I came with a loop already that was there. Okay. Yes, good. That's good. That's good. So I already was living from a lie. I had a loop that kept repeating itself. So now that I came in the US, the loop was still there. The shame was one of the loop. I was living in shame. I was living in fear. I was living in disappointment, right? So all these things, whenever I feel like moving forward, they become the glue that holds onto me to move forward. So that's how you sabotage yourself. That's why the loop keeps repeating itself. Okay? So now we talk about what? We talk about the triggers. So your trigger, your reaction is what makes the trigger a trigger. And your trigger is built from what? Your culture. Your trigger is built from what? Your life experience, which is in that life experience, it could be what? The moment of failure or your challenges, the way you showed up, the way you pull out of a system, and all those things, they are the language that is in the nervous system. So the triggers, it comes from your past, your culture, your upbringing, your life experience, all these things that are from the past. That's what is making who you are in this moment. But other than who you are in this moment, as we can all see, the one that we do not see is truly and really who you are. Can I say that again? Other than what we see physically, there is a part of you that we are not seeing yet, because you yourself, you have not seen it yet. I think I need to say that one more time. There is a part of you that we see physically, because that's the part that you have revealed to us. Whenever you're ready to reveal the part of you that you haven't met yet, and when you meet that part of you, then we'll start seeing it. And I will give this example. For instance, I don't know if you've heard this before, but you come across some people that identify as a cat. They identify as a dog. They identify as anything else but a human being. At the beginning, when you come across someone like that and they are not portraying anything about what they identify as, we will see them as what we see. But when they start identifying as a cat, you know what they do? They start cloning themselves as a cat. What do I mean by that? They start moving like a cat. Okay? They start, or they identify as a dog. They'll start barking like a dog. They identify as a snake. They start hissing like a snake. But because we know that this because we know that this characteristic only comes from a specific type of things, automatically we will know that this is who they are. When we play charade, that's what it is, right? They're going to be giving you sign. You know why we now start believing that they are a cat, or they are a dog, or they are a snake? Because what? They needed two things. Who can tell me those two things in the chat? I know you've been on my live before and I've said it before. Who can tell me the two things that make us now believe that this is who they are? You just need two things. And this is what, oftentimes the people that teach about manifestation, they will tell you part of it, but I want to take you deeper, okay? And this will also help you in your moment of visualization. The reason why visualization is not working for some of you might just be because of these two things that you are missing, okay? What are these two things? What are these two things that make us now believe that, oh, actually, this person is a cat? We were just thinking he was a person, but no, it's a cat. Oh, this person is a dog. Hey, who can tell me? Okay, let me help you out. Okay, if you have it, put it in the chat. If you're watching this on a replay, put it in the chat. By the way, for those who are watching this on a live here on TikTok, I've been thinking about you. I know you told me, Coach, I want to watch this on a replay. How can I do it? And you also know that here on TikTok, we don't say everything. We can only talk about TikTok. So let me give you a hint. And if you catch it on TikTok, please put it in the chats for other people to catch it. So when you go on the red app with the triangle in the middle, when you go there, okay, put on the reset with Coach Sheffy. Reset with Coach Sheffy. And you can watch this on a replay, because I know I've said a lot of things. I don't want you to keep coming on my live, and then when you leave, that's it. My goal is to have a transformation. I want to see you transform. Thank you. I want to see you transform. We don't want to keep repeating our years, our present years. Okay, we don't want to keep bringing the past into the present. I've lived that life many times, and I know how exhausting it is. And especially you're growing in age, but you're not growing in the things that you want to see yourself grow in. And on top of that, let's say you're a parent, the shame that comes with that. So I want to be that person that helps you to finally break out of that loop. I want to be that person that will hold your hand to break out of that loop. So I don't want you to keep coming and, being stimulated, being motivated. And I told you what motivation does. What motivation does is this. That's arrested development. What motivation does is this, right? Motivation, the first time you get the motivation, and that's all. Motivation cannot help you get to the end goal. Motivation is just day one. That's why you start strong day one, day two, day three, you're already out of it because you're moving with a dysregulated nervous system. Okay, so let's come back to what are these two things? The reason why finally we can identify them as what they identify themselves with, or when you're playing charade, is this. The first one is imagination. Can you put that in the chat? Imagination. Your image in action. Imagination is image in action. I'm still online. Yes, you are. I see you. Imagination is what? Image in action. Image in action. Your imagination. Very good. Image in action. So that's the first thing. So the picture now, they have an image of who they want to become. They have an image of who or what they say they are. This thing that I'm teaching you is very important. I'm breaking it down for a reason, because we're going to talk about the God system. I know most of you, we are talking about nervous system, the dysregulation and the regulation of it. But I'm breaking it down so that when we get to the place that we need to get to, It's all been understood, okay? So the first thing is what? Imagination, image in action. So if someone wants to become like a cat, it's because they know what a cat is. They have seen it and they have studied it, okay? So that's what creates the image in them. That's what creates the image. Now, where does the image goes? The image goes in their subconscious mind. So right now, the reason why it's difficult for some of you to break out is because the brain has an image of you. And what is this, the image that the brain has about you? The brain says, or the image that the brain has is this person, they only start strong, 3 days they quit. Because that's the information you fed your brain with for many years. So the brain can only bring to you what is familiar, okay? You can plant an avocado seed expecting to get a banana. It's against the law of the nature, right? So your imagination. So if someone wants to be a cat, that means they're gonna start studying about cats, what they do, how they bath themselves. So you're gonna see people doing those things, right? They starting using their tongue to clean themselves, just like a cat. The first thing is imagination, image in action. The first thing, that's imagination. The second one is belief. Okay, right here, imagination plus your belief becomes identity. Now, your imagination, your belief equals your identity. Most right now are stuck in this loop, okay? You're stuck in the loop because of the past. Yes, number one, identity. Number two is belief, okay? That's what becomes your identity. Now, how does the belief form? The belief is fed, or how does the belief become reality? It becomes reality by the feelings, the emotion. So that's what makes the belief to stick. That's what makes the belief become reality. So the person that is having the imagination, they need to feed that. So what gives birth to identity, what impregnates or give birth to identity is imagination plus the belief system. Those two things make you pregnant, and then you give birth to your identity. So right now, what you live in, you think that's your identity. That's why you keep repeating, or you keep giving into the triggers, because of what you identify yourself with. Until you learn to break out of that belief system and that imagination, you're always going to be living, or you're always going to portray where you are. So some of you right now, I can tell the part of the world you're living in, and I'm not talking about a physical world, I'm talking about your mental world, okay? By the way you respond to people, by the way you identify with things, it will tell me what nationality you have, not a physical nationality, but your spiritual and your mental imagination and all these things. Okay, so imagination, image in action, and your belief system creates your identity. And the same imagination and belief system is what is keeping you dysregulated. It's what is keeping you live below your deserved level. It's what is keeping you repeating the same pattern over and over again. It's what is keeping you looping. So you think you're lazy, but you are not. Is because you're still being faithful to this image of you. That's why when somebody calls you, a cat, you might even respond because you have seen yourself as that already. It's not so much about what have been said. It's about how you understood it. It's not so much about what have been said. It's about how you have understood it. I'm going to give you an example. One day I was in the traffic, and then the light turned red, and there was this car that pulled up to me. He pulled up, and he was saying something. I didn't know what he was saying because my car, the window was up. But I knew he was talking to me because he was looking at me and talking. So I thought he was asking for directions. So I pulled the window down and I said, "Excuse me, what did you say?" With the same smile, naturally. And he said, you are a driver. You have bad driver. I said, excuse me, because I wasn't expecting. They said, you are a bad driver. And then I said, oh, thank you. I said, oh, thank you. God bless you. He said, yes, God bless you too. But right there, what I did, I wasn't affected by that at all. But while I was, engaging him, I just felt in my spirit that I needed to roll the window up. You know how I got that to roll the window up? Before that exact day, I took my mom to the hospital. I mean, for a checkup. While we were waiting in the waiting room, there was this, oh my God, God is amazing. There was this video that we were watching. And in that video, they were showing road rage. You see that? They were showing road rage and how people can easily get pew in traffic lights. So while I was saying, God bless you, and I could see him being very angry, and then I was just reminded about that video by the Holy Spirit. I'm like, oh, what are all the odds that I had to watch that video that day while I was waiting for my mom? And that's what was playing. I did not even click on it. That's what was playing in the waiting room. I was there with my 2 children and we were watching it. What are all the odds? And then I rolled the window back. I'm like, but I was still calm, quiet. And oh, he even said the F word. He said that. But I laughed because my culture doesn't know what that is. The F word, the middle finger, and all these things. It did not affect me. He should have stepped on my feet. That's the one. So you see what I'm saying? You are responding. It's not much about what they have said. That's why I said what is a trigger. A trigger becomes a trigger based on your reaction. Okay? It becomes a trigger based on your reaction. And that trigger, when your reaction will tell you what are some of the things that you're still entertaining. What are some of the things that you're still responding to? What are some of the things that you're identifying yourself with? Now, how can we change that identity? It's now going back to the part that says you are the image and the likeness of God. And that's what is going to help you to also regulate yourself. So we know about the nervous system regulation by somatic movement, the movement and all these things that I teach so well because I'm a, nervous system regulation expert. I love it, right? But there is another one that most people don't talk about, which is the highest of the highest, regulating through God. For those who go to church, for those who are Christians, have you ever asked yourself, whenever after listening to a teaching, a powerful teaching, or whenever you go to church, you feel like all your thoughts, all your worries are lifted? It's because of this. What you hear, what you see, what you feel, what you touch, what you smell, what you taste, all that, they dissolve when we are regulating. All these things, they dissolve when you're regulating. But you need to make that part of you your dwelling. You need to make of it your dwelling. That's why I told you this is not church, but it just happened. That's why I said they that dwell in the secret place of the Most High. You regulate only in the secret place. What is this? Did you just... Okay, let's see. Oh my God, don't do this. If you can still hear me, my TikTok is doing something funny. It said verification, but nothing is happening. So if you want to move to YouTube, please do that. Okay. Usually when you pass 1 hour, TikTok will ask you to verify something. And they're asking me to verify, but it's not letting me do it. So please, if you want to hop on the YouTube live, it's Reset with Coach Sheffy. Reset, R-E-S-E-T, with Coach Sheffy, okay? Yeah, usually they'll give you a puzzle, but it looks like the puzzle is not coming up. They're saying verification code error. Okay, well, I don't know. Yeah, it's not gonna work. I'm trying. They only give me 5 minutes. Yeah. They give me 5 minutes. Guys, my mom just walked by. Say hi to her. It's not working. Okay, I'm gonna try again because I know people are also watching on YouTube. Cross your finger if you want this to work. Order. Am I reporting something? Report a problem. Okay. Okay, wait. No, it's not working. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, you have 3 minutes for this live to end on you. So migrate to YouTube, reset with Coach Sheffy. And while you're there, please subscribe, okay? Subscribe and put the notification bell on and share with your friends. Now, let's come back. Where were we? Now, I was talking about how we know about nervous system regulation, but most people don't talk about God's system, right? The nervous system was created by God. But as human beings, naturally, we easily get drawn to the creation, right? We easily get drawn to the created, not the creator, because we can see the created. But the creator, it feels like we are disconnected. So we can turn everything so easily into God in a very, very easy way. Please make sure you come to YouTube because I'm going to lead you to regulation. This is the goal for today. I wanted to help you to regulate. If you're going through anxiety right now, there is this fear. What I'm going to share with you is going to help you. Okay. But while I'm doing the live, I will still try to see if you'll go through. Let me see. Yeah, it's not working. I tried. Wait, I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. Oh no. Anyway, okay, let's go. To my people on YouTube, TikTok is still here. Now, this is the thing. What you hear, what you see, all those things, they are either helping you to regulate or to dysregulate, to stay dysregulated. Okay? Now, like I put here, what you hear, what you see, what you feel, the touch, the smell, that's what it is. That's what is keeping you either to keep moving forward. Now, what does the and I was talking about the Psalm 91. It says, they that dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide. What? Let me pull up. Let me say it the right way, okay? Let's go. You need to pull up the book. You need to pull up the book, Psalm 91. That is why when you go to church, you feel like after listening to a great sermon, after praising and all those things, you feel like, oh my God, I am so energized. So it says that whoever is you, whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. This is why usually when they tell us to study the Word of God, it's not just to make it to heaven, it's to live heaven on earth. Can we say that again? Whenever they tell us to study the word is not about to check and say, oh, I studied my word today. It's because God knows that there is a lot of adversity. There will be moments where you're going to be anxious. You're going to be anxious about your rent. You're going to be anxious about your children. You're going to be anxious about the things that are happening around you, right? All that anxiety, what is the medication for it? Is the word. Your brain has something to think about. And what is that? It's not thinking about that which is happening. It's thinking about the one, that the brain cannot comprehend yet. This is why I teach about what I teach about how to help your brain. Wait, are we back? Oh, light disconnected. Okay, we're gonna bounce back again. Don't worry. ChatGPT. Go. We're gonna bounce back. Don't worry, my people. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I love you all so much that I want to. I love you all so much that I know you might be waiting for me right now. So I'm gonna come back, okay? Are you still here? Okay, we are back. I know, I'm like, no, these people have been here. So let's, okay, welcome back. Okay, so this is very important, right? So when they tell us to study the word, it's not much about, to make it to heaven. No, it's about what? filling your mind with, I came back to you all. Okay, filling your mind with, what God has said. Okay, filling your mind with what God has said. Let's see. Welcome back. What is this? Okay, let's go. Okay, I know. Sorry about that. We had a technical difficulty on the TikTok. I wanted to bring them back, but they're gonna come to the live on YouTube. It's very important. Okay, so we are talking about the God system, which is regulating through the word of God. That's the highest of the highest. That's the highest of the highest. That's what I want to teach you today. Most of you, you're letting your triggers, you're making your triggers keep you stuck. You're stuck because you're moving with your triggers, moving from your triggers. Okay. Now it's very important. Now I'm looking at this side as if this is still happening. So it's very important to disconnect from that which is constantly keeping you stuck, from that which is constantly keeping you repeat the pattern. Right now, you have all these goals that you want to reach. There are all these goals that you want to achieve in life. But because of some of your triggers, you are stuck in one place and you're asking yourself, why does this keep happening? So what I'm going to teach you is how to activate your spiritual five senses. Even though we have the physical five senses that of what we see on earth is a duplication it's a duplicate of what is not seen. From the unseen, the seen came to pass. From the unseen, the seen became reality. From the unseen, we were able to see that which we couldn't see, right? So all this, the hearing, the seeing, the feeling, okay, the touch, the smell, the taste, they all came from what? There's also a spiritual aspect of it. So when you go to church, like I said, and you're happy, you're raising your hand, what you don't know, not only are you praising God in that moment and all the chemicals are kicking, it's called the feel-good chemical, which is the dopamine, the oxytocin, the serotonin, all these things, all right, the endorphin, all these things, they are helping you. It's called DOSE, if you want to remember, DOSE. All these things, they are helping you to disconnect from the reality. The reality is where? The reality is in your brain, because the brain will always bring to you what is familiar, okay? And most of you right now, what is familiar might not be what it is. The memory, the record that the brain has about you might be something that you're running away from, okay? What the brain has about you might just be something that that you're running away from. But every single time that you feel like you want to move forward, the brain is bringing you back to that place. So you need to shift your environment. Your spiritual mental environment has to be shifted. Now you need to move and dwell in the secret place of the Most High. That's why it said dwell in the secret place. And what leads you to that place is shifting your awareness, your constant awareness, onto something else. Now you need to feed your brain with another information. Where is that information coming from? An information that will disconnect you from that which is pulling onto you, that which is keeping you stuck, with an information that stays constant no matter what is happening. As human beings, as our emotions are shifting, the same way our identity shifts. When I talk about image, your image and your belief, that's what gives birth to your identity, right? What is the belief comes from? Your emotion and all that is part of your belief. So when your belief is shifting, that means your emotion is shifting. That means your identity is also shifting. Okay? Now, that which doesn't shift, that which doesn't change, that which is constant is what? Is God. And that, is God. So he is constant no matter what. His word is permanent. That's how, when your mind is on that, that's how you can continuously regulate yourself, even when it feels like the things that surround you, they want to pull you down. So you cannot use a natural resource to solve a problem. Okay, you cannot use a natural resource. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the thoughts that you're carrying every single time. So there has to be something bigger. That's why, for instance, for someone that is going through anxiety, there might be this Psalm 23. Okay, for someone that is afraid, It might be what? Psalm 91. So for every moment that you're going through, there is a specific medication. The medication of God, which is what? The word of God. Okay. So now, if you also want to work on the image, because you have to give something to your brain to hold on to, you have to give something to your brain to believe in. The brain has to believe in. So how do you build that image? When you're speaking, you need to do what? You need to create the image. So that's why when Jesus is teaching, what does he do? He give image. He speaks in parable, because parable holds image. People will think in image. When I tell you a green elephant, automatically the brain saw color green and the brain saw the elephant. So the brain will bring both together, right? So the green and the elephant, they are put together. If I say purple elephant, the same way you see it. It might not click in right away if I just say elephant. Okay, because you have to think and then you have to bring them together. No matter what color that I keep saying, because these colors are familiar to you, it's not going to be a struggle for you to be able to see that which you're seeing in that moment. So it's very easy. Now, for you to get to that familiar place, you also have to train. Somebody was asking me that question earlier. Can we train the brain to learn, or can we unlearn things that were not good for us? How can we unlearn them if I'm putting this in my own word? Okay, so it's very important. Now, you can allow your triggers not to keep you stuck by the things that I'm sharing with you right now. You can let your brain or your triggers not to keep you stuck by giving a new information to your brain. And where is that information coming from? Hey, that is who you are, the image and the likeness of God. The image and the likeness of God. That is your identity. That's where you need to live from. Okay. Someone has once asked me, Coach, why is it so hard to change? Why is it so hard to change? The reason why it feels like it's hard to change is because you are not fighting willpower. You're fighting your nervous system and you're doing it alone. The reason why it looks like it's so hard to change is because you are resisting your nervous system. And yes, it's possible to change or to get more done in 3 months than most people in 3 years with this information that I'm giving you. Okay, it's possible for you to break out of that pattern. Most of you right now, you keep repeating the same pattern over and over again. You start, you stop, you start, you stop, and you wonder why you're seeing the same results, right? And you wonder why you're seeing the same results. I mean, if you keep planting the same seed, don't expect to get something else, but you're only going to get the same results. That's what it is. That's what it is. So with this information, when you apply it, the thing is, people get information, but not everybody is ready to get the transformation. Most people will get the information. Most people run after information, but few people dedicate themselves for the transformation. Most people, that's why a lot of people, that's why we have the 99%. Okay? But there is the 1%. That's why we always have the 99%. For everything that we have in life, there's always this 99%. And most of you right now, you might just be part of the 99%. You know how I know? I used to be part of the 99% until I started doing this thing that I'm doing. Okay? Until I started telling myself, no, enough is enough. Because I know, just like me, right? You have once told yourself, you've once seen some qualities in you that should not make you stuck at the place that you're stuck at right now. You know you're very intelligent, but there is just that loop that keeps you stuck. You think that's your identity, but no, it's a loop. Every person who ever make it through, okay, the one who came from nothing and stood in the room, the one who was written off, and that one that rose anyway. You might be just this person. The one who held steady when everything tried to break down, okay? This person, when they didn't give up, they all had a season. They had a season of preparation before the shift. Okay, maybe you might just be in your season of preparation. And when we talk about a season of preparation, that means there has to be an end. Let me give you an example. Okay, Esther had a season of preparation. Joseph, Daniel. But unfortunately, because you are not aware that it's a season of preparation, you thought that was your destination. You made the preparation your destination. You're tired of fighting. You're tired of showing up. And you just tell yourself, this is who I am. That's how I'm going to be. And you're not putting in any effort at all. Let me tell you, if you're 25 years old now, if you're 45, you're 55, but you are meant to live for, let's say, 99 years old, how long will you keep repeating this pattern? You're going to be exhausted even before the time is ready for you to leave peacefully this earth. The best time to plant a tree was yesterday. And the right time is today. It's never late. Never, never late. Never late. That's why I tell people, one of the most powerful things you could ever ask is good health, life. As long as you have these things, you'll be able not to catch up, but to move in your identity blueprint. To move in your identity blueprint. So this is why in June 27, if you are this person, you're tired of this. You're tired of the pattern. You keep repeating your years over and over again. You identify yourself being part of the 99% of people. And you know that we are already in May, and in 6 months, right? Or in 7 months, we are going to get into the year 2027. And you're afraid already thinking about 2027 because you know that you're going to live the same life over and over again. And you're like, I wish this could change. Wishing by itself never changes anything. Applying it, that's what changes. Applying it, that's what changes. I remember when I used to struggle with finishing one book. When you come in my home, I have books all around me. I love books. I grew up loving to read. I would stay up in the evening, read till the morning, and sometimes I'll go to school late because I was reading. I love to read books. But as we are growing through life, that desire is still there. But the ability to do it was hard for me. So you see me, I'll surround myself with books and all those things. So I'll only read 3 pages and then I'll leave it. And then I'll get another book. The reason why I was doing this because I was living from a dysregulated nervous system. And also I trained my brain to keep starting over. And I trained my brain to make it look like I was doing something. That was my way of escape so that I don't keep repeating the shame spiral. So most of you, that loop is the shame spiral. You're stuck there. Let me tell you, things can change. Things can change. Why do I know this? Not only do I have the certification to coach people, and I've been coaching people for many years, where people came in my, before I started coaching them, they were making below, as business owners, they were making very low. But once we started working together, and they started working on their identity blueprint, everything else fall in place. When now they're preparing events, when now they are in the 7-figure and all those things, right? They have seen a skyrocket income that just went up from what they always desired to be. One of my clients wanted to publish children's book for many years. It wasn't an easy task for her, but finally she ended up doing it. And this book is on Amazon. You see that? And these are just some of the examples. One of my clients wanted to run in the marathon. Then finally she's able to sign up for it. And this is someone that has always run in the marathon, but out of nowhere, there was this fear where when she wants to do it. So I've trained people in a way that they need to move from where they were into who they're supposed to be. And who is this person supposed to be? The identity blueprint, your image and the likeness of God. Now you're no longer in the general, but you're descending into your blueprint, right? So this program that I'm hosting on June 27, this program that I'm hosting on June 27 is not just any other event. This is identity transformation. You've never been part of anything like this. Why 3 months? Because one time I asked myself, how can I get more done in 3 months? And the question came back in a different way. It came like this: how can I get more done in 3 months than most people in 3 years with God? It goes like this: how can I get more done in 3 months with God than most people in 3 years? So these 3 months that we are having, starting on June 27, we meet every day. I mean, we meet 3 p.m. Okay, we meet 3 p.m. On top of that, for those who sign up, they're also going to have a one-on-one coaching session with me. There are other benefits that comes with it. But when the session is also done, so we're going to be done 3 months after, you will also be eligible to have one-time one-on-one coaching sessions with me, because I want to work with you until that one goal that you set for yourself is reached. You see that? Until that one goal is reached. Okay, so your nervous system is stuck in the past. Right now, you're stuck in the past. So whenever you're stuck somewhere, that means your nervous system is stuck in the past. And until you reset the nervous system, you're gonna keep repeating the same pattern over and over again. You're gonna keep repeating the same pattern over and over again. So this will be the moment where I will lead you into your regulation. Okay, if you're watching this on a replay, and you want to take advantage of this coaching session, this group coaching session, where you're also surrounded with people that have already started a goal that they have reached, you need an accountability partner. This is beyond accountability partner. In this group coaching session, you're going to have your identity foundation. So you're going to be seen, you're going to be freed, and then what? You're going to move into the part of you that you always desire to be. You're going to be activated, walking it out, and you have a follow through in during the coaching session until you reach that goal. Okay, welcome to you all. So type in the chat blueprint, and I'll send you the link. And the link, by the way, is also on my it's also going to be in the comment section after the live. Of course, you're watching this on a replay, so right now you can get it. Okay, but you're going to get the link after the replay. You'll see the link. Okay, let me walk you through the regulation right now. Let me walk you through the regulation right now. Let me walk you through the regulation right now. Okay. Okay, so right now, let me set it up. Good, good, good. Okay, very good. So right now we're gonna start with the breathing. Okay. I put this down earlier. I put what you hear, what you see, what you feel, what you touch, what you smell. Okay, all this, they either keep you regulated or dysregulated. And these things, they came from where? They came from what you've heard, what you've seen, what you've touched, what you smelled, what you felt, all that. Okay, and they came from the past. Now I'm going to help you I'm going to teach you. And this is what I teach some of my clients, by the way, those who keep constantly repeating the same thing over and over again, those who are dealing with anxiety, those who are dealing with depression, all these mental health things, right? So what do? We're going to start with the breathing. What does the breathing do? It helps to regulate. Remember, in the beginning of the world, what God was going to create the world, it says what? He breathed. Breathing is one of the most powerful things that helps you to regulate. So that's what we're going to do right now. And we're going to start with the diaphragmatic breathing. You put one hand on your chest. Okay, you put one hand on your chest and the other one on the belly. What you're doing right here is you are creating contact. That contact is what? It's helping you to be grounded in your body. Okay, it's helping you to be grounded. Hebrews 10:5-7 says this, a body you created for me. I'll say that again. Hebrews 10:5-7 says this, a body you prepare for me to do your will. What makes you legal on this earth, okay, is this body. If you're not taking care of this body by regulating, your body will give up on you even before your day that you're supposed to peacefully leave this earth. So it's very important. And what is nervous system regulation? Nervous system regulation is as easy as intentionally creating a pause in your activity in order to connect to your body. Okay? When you're intentionally creating that pause, what are you doing? What is helping you to create that pause is the image that you're carrying, what you're hearing. Okay? So right now, let's work on the breathing by putting one hand to create and then the other one is on my belly automatically. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's go. Very good. Automatically. Very good. Okay. Let's come back. I just remembered something. Before we get there, let's do something like this, okay? Bring your hands together as if in a prayer mode. All this was suggested for a reason, intentionally, okay? Now, rub both hands together. Gentle. Do not rub like you're a robot. Be present. Be present. Very good. Be present. Good job. Bring your awareness on the palm. What you're doing right now, bring your awareness to it. Very good. Good job. Very good. Bring your awareness to it. Good job, everybody. Good job. Don't rush. Now feel how the sensation in your palm, how is it like? Some of you can even feel the lines, okay, in your palm. You can feel it right now, the lines. Connect to the lines in the palm. Connect to it. Connect to it. Very good. Connect to it. Intentional. You see what I'm doing? Everything that you're doing, connect to it. Opposite. Take it out. And the other one, very good. Connect. You might even feel the cold, the warmth, very good. And rub. That is why when you take shower, it's a moment of regulation. But if you catch yourself constantly rushing, okay, even when you're washing your face, supposed to be a moment of connecting, regulation. But some of us, we are like always rushing, okay? Very good. Now bring them together. Press them and open. The intentionality, that's what we are creating. The brain will tell you, no, go watch something else now. Very good. Bring them together. Very good. Now, one hand, now you have the heat. Now put it's a warmth on your heart. The other one on the belly. It doesn't matter which hand go to what part. You follow the ones that your body is used to, okay? Very good. Now close your eyes. I'm gonna do the same. Okay, be present in this moment. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. What the diaphragmatic breathing does when you're doing it, when you inhale through the nose, your belly will rise. And when you exhale through the mouth, the belly will go in like it deflated, okay? Okay, think of it like you're blowing air in a balloon and you let the air go. So that's the shape that you should have in your mind. So let's go. On a count to 3, don't rush. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. We're gonna do 2 more of this, and then we'll move to something else. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One time, inhale through the nose. Exhale. Now, we are going to work on the imagination. Remember, I told you what becomes your identity. You need 2 things: the imagination and your belief. Okay? Right now, your imagination is clogged. That's why it's even hard for you to see you from a different light. Trauma is projecting images. This next phase of the regulation, the grounding, is going to help you to clear every fear, anxiety, every image that is contrary to who you are, every image that is contrary to your blueprints. Now, see a bright light flowing through your nose, your nostril when you take the breath. This time, you're breathing in light, okay? And then that light goes, and then you exhale, peace out, okay? So let's go. Inhale the light. Very good. Very good. 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 Let it go in your organs, reproductive organs. Now exhale, let it come back, same way. Very good. We're gonna do one more time. Now, you're gonna breathe in the light again, the bright light, pure white light, and see this light illuminating in the nervous system. Okay, let's go. Very good. If you can't see it, it's okay. Keep practicing it and it will come. This is gonna be here. You can come back to it. Now, we're gonna Move one step ahead. Tension is held in the head. When I'm talking about the head, I'm talking about the forehead, the jaw when you're angry, the jaw, your throat, when you can't express yourself, your chest, right? Your back, okay? Your stomach, your hip, your thighs, your leg, your feet. So this is what we're gonna do now. You are going to imagine God breathing on you from the top of your head. And that breath is pouring on you like shower when you're under shower, or the rain is pouring on you and is clearing and cleansing every emotional center from every negative past experience. Can we do that together? I'll count you in on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. One more time. Let's go. Very good. One more time. Very good. Very good. Now, in a gentle way, connect back. Bring sensation back into your body. Okay. And when you're ready, open your eyes. No rushing. Very good. Very good. Put in the chat whenever you're ready. You don't want to come back right now. I know some of you, you're still traveling. Now, it doesn't have to be like this, right? You can, the best way to do this is to have a word. Remember I told you what you hear, what you see, what you touch, what you feel, what else? Hear, touch, feel, smell, taste. All these things, they are forming, they are keeping you stuck or unstuck. So the next time you're doing something like this, what do you want to do? You need to give a word for your brain to feed on. Okay? That's what will keep you rooted. And these are some of the things that will keep you, that will help you to get unstuck. In this next 3 months, happening in the month of June, this is some of the things that I'm gonna be teaching you, not just teach you, but we're gonna break the pattern together. There is a lot in you that you're capable to do, to achieve. But most of you right now, you're still feeding into your trauma. You're still feeding into who you are not. You're still feeding into the lies. You're still believing the lies. You are more than what your brain can hold. So right now, for the you, or you already, some of you already have the link. Go ahead and get that link and book, because I'm only working with a few people. I don't want a large big group of people. Okay. So the session to get the discount is open till, I believe, the 22nd of June. But for those who get the link that get into it right now, they will take advantage of the continuation of the coaching session with me. Okay, thank you so much. I'm going live again tomorrow. TikTok gave up, but I'm going live again tomorrow. If you want to get the link to get access to this group coaching, go ahead and get that right now. Okay. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. I appreciate each and every one of you. And don't just be the one hoarding on information. Be the one that will step in and say, this time we are starting. You're not starting by yourself. You have someone that is going to work with you this time. You have someone that believes in you, that is holding your hand. It doesn't always come often. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.